You can hear the GMR Podcast on Stitcher. Stitcher is radio on demand. Download the free app today. Listen anytime, anywhere.
Create custom playlists. Over 20,000 shows to discover. Rate and review my show, the GMR Podcast, on Stitcher. Available on iOS, Android, Nook, and iPad.
On demand and on the go. No downloading, no thinking, no wasted memory. Stream your favorite podcast. Don't have Stitcher? Download it free today at Stitcher.com or in the App Store.
Who is Jean? That's a question that quite a few people already know the answer to, and now it's time for you to find out who is Jean. Go to whoisjean.com, that's WHOISZHON, and you can watch the entire 20-episode series for free. It's the story of Jean, an alien, or is he, who crash-landed on Earth many, many years ago, who has now turned himself in to the authorities and claims he'll answer all of their questions. Or will he? Check it out. whoisjean.com. WHOISZHON.com. GMR. You're listening to the GMR Podcast. Coming in 2014, the director's cut of Writing Frenzy. Frenzy, the hottest comic book on the market. Billy Shaw, the screenwriter assigned to write the Frenzy movie. One problem. Billy's totally blocked. Now, Billy travels to the comic book store that the creator of Frenzy died in an attempt to inspire himself. Will it do the trick? With help from the store's owners, John and Pete, it just might. Writing Frenzy. It's about the process. The new comedy from Pondo Enterprises, coming in 2014.
GMR.
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 GMR. Wow.
GMR Podcast Show 95.
95.
The show that never ends.
I'm trying to catch up on the old podcasts.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You got enough distance from them now that
Yeah.
you can listen to it.
I'm right up to the Comic-Con remix, or the full Comic-Con.
Now that's a good one to go back.
Yeah. What the hell was I talking about when you said, "Oh, we should"? That's a good way to start the podcast. Rewind.
Maybe you gotta rethink that whole thing about the monthly bus pass.
Oh yeah, because if I'm going to Mark's twice a week, like I used to try and I'm trying to catch up on these cable shows I've been missing. Okay, which one did you put in? That's the one I recorded last night. I think you should pop the other one in and see.
Alright.
Give that a little look-see. Because I couldn't get the tracking to stabilize at all, and it looks like it's doing that there. Otherwise, the only way I could do it would be in 6-hour mode.
Well, it records better in the 6-hour mode than
I think so, dude. I brought a sample of that.
Trippy.
I brought this old Superman that I want you to check out. I sent you a message about last week while I was still thinking about it. But it's been in my mind every day. I'm like, this is a crazy-ass Superman episode. He finds these... I don't want to spoil it for you. Anyway, it's the craziest Superman episode. He doesn't kill anybody. But he kinda does. By his own neglect.
This is a 2-hour speed and
Yeah.
seems fairly solid.
Tracks. What do you plan on doing with these?
Dump it onto a DVD. Then reuse the same tape.
Okay. I didn't want to... When I do have a chance to put let's say it's 2.5 hour long tape, I'm gonna have to switch them up, and I've never been up that late, so they're not necessarily gonna be in order. Is that, you know what I mean? Because there's like one tape that's still got a half hour left. Actually, the one you got here. So maybe, I don't know, man.
Oh, I'll figure it out, I'm sure.
It's just late. 11 o'clock at night. I get up at fucking 8 o'clock because the sun's shining through my window. That's a pain in the ass. Now I need a rolling paper. Where are the rolling papers?
So between coming over here upwards of 5 times a month and then going to Brady's once a week, maybe it is cheaper to have the monthly pass?
It might be. If I actually go to Brady's twice a week. But
well, he's got a VCR now.
yeah.
With the remote.
So I guess I'll be catching up on Pondo Theater.
Oh, wow.
Because Mark isn't up at 4 in the morning. Sometimes he is and records it for me. Or he used to before the VCR died. This is thrilling TV.
This is my hair.
This is my real hair. I can touch my hair. I can do what I want.
I do what I want.
See, I'm going bald, so what I decided to do is just shave it all
Yeah,
off.
just embrace it.
I mean, chicks look hot when they're bald. You've seen. We learned that from Star Trek.
Star Trek, the motion picture.
That's when we first discovered bald chicks were hot. And then Sinead O'Connor came along. I think we've discussed this on a podcast before. You're supposed to jump in when I said, and then Sinead O'Connor came along.
I'm still I'm thinking about my response. Thinking, oh yeah, I guess there is a direct line between one to the other.
It kind of fell off. She kind of ruined it. You know what I mean? Because she was all political and whatnot, and she sang in a very sort of, I don't know if it was an angry way or not.
Yeah.
But she wasn't nearly as,
Ripping up pictures of the Pope on Saturday Night Live, long before it was fashionable.
Yeah.
And it happened to be on the same episode that Andrew Dice Clay was on.
Oh,
right?
so it got a lot of, that show was already getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, I remember watching that one that night. But that's when I watched that show every week still.
Yeah.
Then he got like banned for life or some shit.
I haven't watched an episode of that once since I've gotten an antenna. Because every time I watch that show, it just pisses me off. Because it's just not that funny. You know what it's missing? Muppets.
Well, that's what they had in the beginning.
40-minute fucking bands. You know, the band just keeps coming back and they just keep playing music every set. What else did I have to talk about this week? Oh, heard anything new about this? Oh, did you watch that Captain America movie yet?
No.
No?
What was I doing? I was catching up on something. Oh, I watched the rest of season 1 of Louie. Somebody lent that to me. It's funny, but it's just it's almost too sharp. It's almost painful to watch. I can imagine that's how It's Always Sunny must feel to some people. They're like, turn that off. I can only handle an episode or two. It's too fucked up. Have you ever seen the Louie show?
I saw a couple of. I saw a little bit of it when it was on. When I had cable.
Yeah, I can only handle that in small doses. I'm like, damn, if I want to think about that, I can just live my life. It is funny, though.
The first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is out on Blu-ray.
I'll probably be picking that up soon.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Part of the continuity and all. And then I see those Clone Wars Season 3 Blu-ray and I think, do I want to watch that now? Or
they're going to show an episode of the new Star Wars Rebels, I think it's called.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to show that on ABC Sunday, opposite of The Simpsons, so I don't know.
Won't be home for that.
Maybe they'll show it at 6 o'clock. That'd be better.
Knowing me, if I'd be home, I'd be watching WKRP instead.
That's on at 8 or something.
Oh, okay, then it doesn't interfere.
It does, because, yeah, it does interfere because there's a Family Guy on.
Family Guy or WKRP?
I missed the first WKRP, and then I switch over when they show Blackish or something like that. No, it's Mahoney.
Oh.
That one comedian that's been around forever.
Martin Short.
Yeah.
Mulaney. Like Delaney. It's not that good. I was hoping it would be a massive success. We first saw a commercial for it during Big Brother, I think.
Yeah.
And we were immediately trashing it. And then one of us said, what if that ends up being like the biggest fucking show of all time? I'll be like, remember when we saw him first on Mulaney?
It's weird because I don't remember that.
Well, apparently it's not going to happen.
I saw the first of it. It's kind of like Seinfeld, but not as clever. So I don't think it'll last very long. But at least he got his own sitcom. Took him, I think he's been around 20 years or something, hasn't he?
Who, Martin Short?
No, John Mull, whatever his name.
Oh, Mulaney. I haven't watched the show, so.
No, but you saw the preview.
I saw the preview, but all I really found out from that was there was going to be a show called Mulaney that Martin Short was on. I don't know what it's about.
It's something to do with Martin Short. He's the guy's Mulaney's boss. They work on a game show, and he's a womanizer, maybe an alcoholic. I don't know. It's not that great though. Age of Ultron. They're gonna show a trailer for that during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. next Wednesday. So that should be pretty good.
Yeah, they've already put a trailer online.
Yeah. You're gonna avoid it?
Oh yeah, as long as possible. See, I still know virtually nothing about that Captain America movie and the X-Men movie, so it's all fresh to me.
Talked to Chris lately?
No, but Ray said he was going to show up today, and, well, as you can hear, he's not here, but...
What time did he send that message?
Well, 4 in the morning.
4 in the morning? Jesus Christ. I got up at 8 in the morning. I was like, yeah, 4 in the morning. That's what's Ray doing at 4 in the morning?
Probably starting his day.
Drinking some coffee?
You know.
Crazy.
Exactly. Call me crazy.
So the next studio show is...
next month.
The third Saturday of next month.
Yeah.
6 p.m.
So that should be...
6:45?
Well, you took my schedule, so you might know.
Yeah. Well, I thought you gave it to me.
No, it was at the bottom of that stack of papers.
I was wondering, why did you give me the schedule? I'll bring that back
It's
next
not like
week.
I need it. It's just kind of funny.
I'll bring it back.
So I think it's November 21st.
That sounds right.
Because next week is Halloween. And I guess we'll be doing the podcast from the party. That should be nice and chaotic.
You know, sometimes I wish we could do the podcast at like 10 in the morning. That's when I'm most active.
That would be interesting.
I've woken up, I've eaten something. Well, if I had to still come over here, I'd still be worn out from the fucking 2.5-hour bus ride.
That should be the podcast. The bus ride. Live on the bus. And then eventually we'll do a podcast on the trolley or whatever it is.
Streetcar.
Streetcar.
That's what we're calling it. Isn't it trolley? Like it's like little separate units, individual units.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, when is that? Next week is when Donnie is on Bold and the Beautiful,
That's
right?
right. I'd completely forgotten.
We got to look that up because I want to
the
fucking watch
30th
that
and the
too.
31st. So Thursday and Friday.
Okay. I think it's on at 2 o'clock, maybe 1 o'clock. I'd figure it out. Because I don't want to miss it. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's the real last episode of Big Brother.
And I can put it to bed for a year. 8 months or whatever it is now.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't keep watching the Australia one. I couldn't keep up with that. An episode a day for like 87 days.
Oh, that's too much, yeah. It's kind of good to cut Utopia down to once a week, but how much can they really show you in an hour of shit that happened that week?
Mm-hmm. And it's not even on tonight.
It's not?
Remember last week they said, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. No, I forgot. Well, that's good. One less thing to have to watch.
Yeah, you can catch up on something else now instead.
Oh, what else was I watching this week?
My comic book men's started back up.
Yeah.
And 2 of those, so.
That was the best episode I've ever seen.
Yeah, the second episode, yeah. Saw that one.
Right on.
Can't reveal too much about it. Is it really possible to spoil that
Comic
show?
book man?
It's not like there's plot lines.
Like, all you could really spoil would be like, oh, we already spoiled the first one. You're like, Kevin's daughter's on it.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be like, oh, you wouldn't believe what they brought into the store this time. And
Yeah, how's that going to spoil it? How does this make me
now I already know what they bring in
How
the
does this make
store.
me want to see it, right? Oh, I want to see that thing.
Haven't
That's the best
seen
part
that
of the
thing
show.
before. Exactly. It's like going to Comic-Con looking at shit.
They were throwing money right and left on that first show. Like,
Yeah, I think he spent way too much money on those Rocky
oh
figures.
yeah, that's retarded. Somebody must know where to sell them or something.
Maybe that one is incredibly rare, but is there a market? That's the thing. You gotta find somebody who's gonna buy that shit. And then like original art from somebody comes in and he gives the guy like not even $100.
I laid out quite a few for those zombie babies.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking you can just get those at the costume shop. They had them in every aisle.
Now, what's the plot of this one we're watching?
That guy was a dork, and then he comes back and he's all not a dork anymore. And
When they go to high school together or something?
yeah. He came looking for Jackie, but he ended up dating Sarah, and then they got pissed off at each other. And she basically just tells the guy to fuck off, and that's the whole episode.
Now he's trying to hook up with Jackie again.
Yep.
She wants nothing to do with him.
Yep.
Look at the necklaces
Yeah,
he's wearing.
medallions and shit.
Yeah, I feel like the podcast is really off the rails. I don't know what's going on with it.
That's alright, because we got those 2 faithful listeners.
Yeah?
And, they're not going anywhere. And people are still, strangely enough, catching up on the old ones. So, like we said before, maybe one day they'll catch up to these episodes.
On the middle last night, or Wednesday, the young kid decides to do a podcast a font-based podcast about fonts. And he's got one listener, and he keeps doing it. I have to do it for my listener, my fan. and then he burns himself out by the 4th episode, and he cancels the podcast. And the very end of it is it's Jimmy Kimmel, and he's all pissed because his favorite podcast is gone.
Yeah, that's what I liked with the public access is you didn't know how many listeners you had.
Yeah.
Now you can find out and just focus on it.
Let me drink this sugar real fast now. The podcast is almost over.
Yeah, well, that's the best time to do it.
Woo!
And we're still, it's funny because our numbers, if you look at them, they're kind of back to where they were when we started. We get about 1 hit a day.
Well, that's something.
Mm-hmm. It was that crazy Big Brother spike that, sent everything out of control. Then he's in the intro, and he's not even in the episode, and then his next episode, he's not in the intro anymore. It's strange how they'll do that. For you at home, that made no sense either. You probably didn't even hear that part.
Is he ever not in the intro and on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you think about these things?
It's a temporary solution. You'd be sitting there hitting it all day. This steam thing that'll decongest you.
It wants all that moisture in your lungs.
Mm-hmm.
It does look a crazy technology.
That's how they get you. They make a snappy commercial for it.
You watched the Star Trek Saturday?
Oh, yeah.
You remember it?
If I think about it for a second, he got split into 2 different people.
Oh yeah. The first time the transporter split him into 2 personalities.
Yep.
One personality was a rapey sort of a drunkard, and the other personality was just a wimp.
Put them together and you got Captain Kirk.
What about they almost froze to death. That was fucking crazy. That's what we forgot to do. Guess I was smoking the cigarette. But next time we're in the studio, we should play Star Trek trivia again.
See, now we have content for... And next week, Halloween. And the week after that, Tucson Comic-Con. So we got all sorts of stuff happening on the GMR Podcast.
That's right. That Comic-Con is the 7th.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the 8th.
It's still the very next weekend, though. Yeah.
Cool. Looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Little Comic-Con action. Bet we can get Sarah and Dan to go to that.
It's possible.
It's pretty inexpensive. What's a $10 a day?
And kids 12 and under are free.
Andrew's 10. We already know that because I was just at his birthday party. So, that should be no problem. Ric Flair.
GMR! 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 GMR!